Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be taking a little dive into r/BestOfRedditorUpdates. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening to with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. And I forgot to record my disclaimer. So that's the reason for the mic change and probably the change in sound quality. But yeah, little disclaimer, any opinions that I give on the post we read are just opinions. Just that, not facts, do not need to be taken as such. If you have a different opinion, of course, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear it. Just make sure you're keeping it respectful in the comments with anyone you do not agree with. There is no need to be mean with people just because you don't agree. With that being said, let's get into it then, shall we? Okay then, so this one was posted by Direct Caterpillar 77 and the title says, Girlfriend 24F wants me 24M to stop hanging out with her father and refuses to explain why. How do I figure out what is going on? Interesting. So, of course, Direct Caterpillar 77 is not the original poster. The original poster is u/throwaway weird issue, and it was originally posted in Relationship Advice. We have a trigger warning for infidelity. Originally posted October 10th, 2019. So, this is a weird one, at least for me. Anne and I have been dating for a little over a year now. I met her parents when we had been together for 2 months or so. She always spoke very highly of them and never mentioned any conflict that could have been the cause of the current issue. I've had some bad experiences with fathers in my past relationship, but Anne's father was a nice surprise to have. He's a very cool dude, and you can see he truly cares about his family and the happiness of every member. After I met her parents and got along with them, we would visit them at least twice a month. Sometimes it was Anne's idea, and sometimes her parents would invite us to dinner with Anne's siblings. Once again, those were always positive experiences, and both me and Anne enjoyed it. Then, one day, her father invited me to meet him so that we could get some beer. I invited Anne, but she didn't want to, so I went by myself. He talked about his life, his job, random topics, and I did the same. I had a pretty good time, so when he invited me the next month, I went again. So this became a thing. Each month, we meet up to drink beer and talk. Anne never said anything negative about this. In fact, when I would come back, she would ask if I had fun and we would talk a little bit about it. I was surprised 3 days ago to have her come and ask me to stop hanging out with her father. I asked if something had happened and she said that it didn't, she just wanted me to stop. This was something new because we usually talk about everything as openly as we can manage. It was something that we made sure to establish at the beginning due to our past experiences. So this is very strange behaviour coming from her. I tried asking her if they'd argued or if he had said something to upset her, but she changes the subject or flat out tells me to just stop hanging out with him and move on. I don't know if I should ask her father about this, and to be honest, it is not something that I want to do. Everything is normal unless I bring up this subject. Just today, she was talking about her family, planning the birthday of her sister next week, and it was like nothing was happening. I don't want to make decisions without knowing what is going on behind them, but I don't know how to get the answers without having to bring more people into this. Anyone could give me some insight? I mean, if she asks you to not hang out with her dad, I suppose you're kind of stuck there. You kind of have to be like, okay, fair enough, you know? It's your dad, and if you don't want me hanging out with your dad for whatever reason, I'm going to have to respect that. It is weird, though. I would wonder maybe if, because obviously infidelity was mentioned in the trigger warnings, would it be that she thinks that the OP might be using going out with her dad as an excuse to cheat on her? But no, because then she could just ask her dad, were you out together? And he'd say yes. And then happy days. Do you know what? I don't know. I can't imagine what it might be, because if everything was absolutely fine before and now it's all of a sudden becoming a problem, I'm confused. So, relevant comments. Editor's note, comments had 2 alternating theories. I'm wondering if those theories might have been one of the ones that I just mentioned. So, I'm probably from hell says, I think you should respect her, but also not just let this go. The first thing that popped into my mind is that she's planning to end the relationship with you. Ah, that could be, yeah, actually. And doesn't want her dad and you to be buddies to minimize the awkwardness. Maybe she's cheating. Interesting. But then again, that's just the first thing I thought of. OOP then says, this possibility did not cross my head at all, mostly because our relationship is completely normal as it was before. I will keep this in mind. Maybe I will just try asking her about our relationship instead of asking about her father. Yeah, I mean, that might be the first place I would go, being like, are we okay? Because this has come out of nowhere and you won't explain it. Like, I need to know that we're okay. And if we're not, I need to know. Because, leaving me with no explanation and just telling me we cannot hang out anymore is having me spiraling. It's making me think of all sorts of reasons. And this, by the way, is why you should never say do this, but I'm not telling you why. Because you're going to lead someone to possibly sit there spiraling, thinking of the worst case scenarios when it could be nothing. So, Black and White Paint says, we don't know, bud. I tried to respect it since it's her family, not yours. Maybe they've had a feud that you don't know about and she's not ready to talk about it. Possibly, yeah, actually, that could be it. There's always more going on in family than you think you know, just by looking in as an outsider. If you don't know and have no real stakes, why not just respect what she wants? Yeah, but you've got to think from the OP's point of view. When your girlfriend has been absolutely fine with you hanging out with her dad and then all of a sudden it's like, no, you can't go. And I'm not saying why. You're going to think of lots of different worst case scenarios. Let's be realistic. Of course you are. So, yeah, I don't think really it's a case of, just doing as she says and respecting it, because, it's come out of nowhere. I have a father who is kind and charming and generous and misogynistic. He loves to talk to his sons-in-law about how women suck. His daughters are okay with them all being together, but when the guys are alone together, the daughters get uncomfortable about what kind of toxic male bonding they're doing. And for good reason, I think. Not saying that that is what's going on, but she, as a daughter, probably has better insight and valid reasons. And then the OOP says, this is what bugs me the most. I feel like I have a pretty good idea of who they are as a family, but now I have to doubt that. And I have to worry about what is going on when I'm not there. Is it going to be a thing that will keep affecting my relationship with my girlfriend? Are we going to keep having these weird moments? So then we have an update 5 days later from the original post. So, I just want to start by saying that I should probably start paying more close attention to the people around me. Do you know what? We could all probably benefit from doing that sometimes. After I made the post, I decided the best route was to speak to Anne about our relationship and dig more into the father issue later. To my surprise, this time it didn't take long because she just burst into tears. She reassured me that everything was fine between us, but there was an issue with her parents, and I wasn't supposed to know from her. But she is very angry at her father, and this was how the issue between us came to be. Her father is having an affair. He's been seeing this woman for 10 months. Oh my goodness. Anne's mother had no idea something was up until he said he was going out with me for a beer, and then later Anne sent a picture of me and her at a party the same night. Then he went out twice to meet up with me for a beer, which was weird. We only went out once a month. But he told her I was helping him out with an idea for a project he had for their house. Since at this point she was suspicious, she started to check with Anne whenever he said he was going out with me. Oh, yeah, no, that's bad. See, it's kind of on a par with what I was thinking, but I thought that it was that Anne thought OP was cheating or using that as an excuse to cheat or something, or maybe cheating when OP was going out with her father or something. I don't know, but yeah, it was. I was close. I was kind of there, but not close enough. Things started to get more obvious, and Anne's father ended up coming clean a few weeks ago. They broke the news to their sons and daughters, but had a special talk with Anne, since her father had been using my name in this mess, and her mother thought it was only right for him to talk to me and apologise. Anne tried to keep quiet, but ended up lashing out, which caused the issue between us. I did have a talk with her father, and it was extremely awkward. Yeah, I bet it was. Oh my goodness. He apologised and said that he hoped we could keep being friends once everything was settled. Don't know about that though. This is such an awkward position to be in because, say, if the OP stays obviously in a relationship with his girlfriend, which there's no indication that there's any problems with the actual relationship, so why wouldn't they? Now you're going to have to contend with the fact that there is this really weird underlying issue with the father, and it's going to be super awkward because if that was me and a partner's dad had been using me as a cover-up for their cheating, I don't think I could sit around and play nice with them again. And the fact that they're a cheater as well, I wouldn't want to be all pally with them, because I'm not gonna lie, I'd be there thinking, ugh, you're just a dirty cheater. Like, do you know what I mean? So then it's such an awkward position to be in as a partner of someone, because if you are their partner, if they forgive their parent and decide they still want to have a relationship with their parent, you're still going to have to be around this person. How awkward for the poor OP. Anne has also apologised, but this has really taken a toll on her, so I'm not holding it against her. Thanks to everyone who replied to the first post, even though most of you made me a little paranoid that I was going to get dumped. I still got some good insight. Yeah, I bet. Bless you, OP. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because everyone's like, yeah, your girlfriend's going off you or something. Or I imagine some people were like, is your girlfriend cheating or something? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would have definitely had me worrying. But I mean, it's the better of the options, I suppose. That it's not that the girlfriend just wants to dump the OP and hasn't been brave enough to say it. And it's not that, you know, the OP's girlfriend's cheating and she doesn't think he's cheating. But yeah, this is still pretty bad. It would be interesting to see how the family dynamics work alongside the relationship dynamics from here on out. Like, I would be very interested to see how that is actually going to work in a realistic sense. But yeah, goodness me. So let's have a look what the commenters of the Best of Redditor Updates post have to say then, shall we? So, Stop Thinking It's Me says, ew, imagine using your daughter's boyfriend as a cover story for cheating on your wife. And then Pepcorn says, I would never be able to respect this guy again. Cheating is already unforgivable, and on top of that, also messing with the peace in your kid's household. Ew is right. Yeah, ew indeed. Goodness me. Okay then, so we've still got a little bit of time left, so I think we'll have a look at a Am I the Devil? How about that? I've got a few Am I the Devils that I've saved and not used, so we'll have a look at those. So this one was reposted by FitHumor5022, and it says, they are not the same thing. So this was originally posted in True Off My Chest, and it was titled, I thought astronomy and astrology were the same thing. I might have ruined my relationship with my girlfriend. Oh no. My girlfriend, 32F, of almost 1 year, has a doctorate in astronomy. My sister, 35F, has astrology as her biggest hobby. I, 33M, thought they were the same thing, and now I think I ruined my relationship with my girlfriend. I thought she and my sister had lots in common, but after she met my sister, when I introduced her to my family, my girlfriend was angry. My sister was just confused, but my girlfriend was furious. At first, she thought I was belittling her career by comparing it to astrology, which she says is completely fake. After I told her I honestly and truly thought that they were the same thing, She got even more upset. She claims the only way I could think that was if I never listened to her. Oh, do you know? Yeah. Yeah. Because, yeah, I can see how someone who doesn't know what either of them are might hear astronomy, astrology, and think they sound like the same thing, two sides of the same coin, but they are not in any way the same. And if you took 5 minutes to listen to someone talk about astronomy, when you've lived with someone who's into astrology, you'd have that moment of, oh wait, these are two entirely different things. Like, oh my goodness. That's not true. They both have names that are almost the same, and they are both about space. Yeah, but they're not, though, realistically. Like, astrology is about, like, well, I suppose in a way you could argue they kind of are, but astrology is about like the position of the stars in relation to the time of the year and blah, 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 and what that means spiritually and whatever, and what it could mean for your future, horoscopes, that sort of thing. Whereas astronomy is literally like space, actual space. Like, scientifically so. And if he had taken 5 seconds to listen, then he would have figured out that yes, there is a big difference. My girlfriend says she has a doctorate and has worked in America at NASA and Europe at the Space Agency and has written a lot of scientific papers, so her accomplishments should not be compared to someone who believes in astrology. My girlfriend has not spoken to me since the day I introduced her to my family. She cancelled our visit to her family so I can meet them. She cancelled our recent date and she told me to figure it out when we argued after we left visiting my family. She said we were done, but it was in the heat of the moment. I admit I made a mistake. I honestly did not know they weren't the same thing, but I don't think it was a huge mistake. I think I've ruined my relationship with her. I swear, I didn't know, and I didn't mean to upset her. Yeah, I mean, at first, I was gonna say, easy mistake to make, but then once the OP had said that their girlfriend pointed out, well, you mustn't listen to me, I mean, yeah, actually, yeah, it must mean that, because how can you be in a relationship for a year and not know what their job entails and that it's like completely different from astrology? Oh my goodness. And yeah, I can imagine that's a big slap in the face to someone who has gone through like university and that to gain a doctorate in astronomy, to then compare their work to astrology, which, to be fair, it's just kind of like, it's a very spiritual kind of like, a lot of people interpret it very different. A lot of it is people just make bits up and put bits together from here, there and everywhere. Yeah, comparing that to someone who's done the work for a university doctorate is like, and I imagine for the level of blow up that the girlfriend had of being like, I am done with you. I don't think this is the first time they've not felt heard. Not one bit. And by the way, absolutely no hate to the people who believe in astrology. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. If that's something that you like and something that you believe in, there's nothing wrong with that. And I do not mean any disrespect with, me saying that I can see why it's hurtful to the OP's girlfriend, the comparison. And the reason I say that is because astrology is very much a sort of thing where it's like very opinion based quite often. I know there's charting and things like that, but a lot of it's kind of like opinion based on spirituality, based on things that people are sort of like interpreting. Whereas astronomy, this OP's girlfriend has gone on to get like, I think they said a PhD. I can't actually go back at the minute because I'm recording, but a PhD, and they've done all this and they've done all that. They've worked really hard. It's their career. And again, still a year and a half into the relationship, or a year or whatever it was. And the OP still knows nothing about what they do. So I can see why it would be a massive slap in the face. And also, like the OP said themselves, the astrology thing is their sister's hobby. A hobby is just something you do as of when you please. It's something most people don't take super seriously, whereas the OPs put a hell of a lot of hard work and money and time into their career, I imagine. So yeah, I could totally see why it is a slap in the face, but I just wanted to put that caveat in there that there is no disrespect from me for anyone who is into astrology. I never get really why people get so much hate for being into it. I get why the grifters who just like try try and like leech money out of people when really they don't know what they're talking about and what have you on like socials using astrology and stuff. I get why they get hate, but like just your general everyday person who is into it and going on their own little spiritual journey with it, I'm like, why do they get so much hate? It's literally the same coin. It's just a different side of it when it comes to like religion and spirituality, isn't it? So yeah, no disrespect from me. Okay then, so let's have a look at the comments then, shall we? So 00 Tears says, I remember this one because the comments are hilarious. And then Allergy Mum 74 says, the last time I mistook astrology for astronomy, I think I was 10. And I knew they were different things, but I just misremembered which one was which. And then a deleted commenter says, girlfriend realised she's dating a box of hammers. LOL. That is such a funny thing to call someone, like you're a box of hammers. Oh my goodness. And then Artsy Elephant 1245 says, it's because when you're explaining why you thought, you were proving her point that you aren't listening either to her or your sister. If your sister is that into astrology, she talked about it to you and you listened, then you should have automatically known when you listened to your girlfriend that they aren't similar at all. So you aren't listening to someone. She said she's done. Are you also not going to listen to that since it's the heat of the moment? You're just proving her point. You don't listen to what matters to her and completely diminished all her hard work. And then Peter Prata says, thank goodness she did not introduce you to her colleagues. I would love to be a fly on the wall for that gathering. So then Horror Reveal 7618 says, I'm surprised you don't confuse astronomy with gastronomy. And then Zephyroth the Great says, restaurants do get stars as ratings. Yeah, they do, to be fair. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel like we're missing some context about what the OP's been like just in the relationship in general, because for her to just go, I am completely done now. It's either A, there is things that we've not heard about what he's like in the relationship, not listening or whatever, not showing any interest in her and her interests. Or it could even be B, she's gotten very used to people doing this and it pisses her right off. And she's just blown a lid with it all. So yeah, it could be a couple of those things, but oh my goodness. And then to double down and just be like, I thought they were the same, instead of being like, oh, okay, I'm really sorry. Can you tell me more about what it is you do at work so I can understand? I think some things have gone over the top of my head, you know. I'm not like smart with space. I'm not as clever as you are with that, but I would love to learn. Just show a bit of keen interest or something. My God. Okay then, so I think that's all we've got time for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, notifications on, that is your initiation into the Covered Avoid. Welcome. Don't forget to leave an offering of a comment for Big Al now, will you? Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.